Hey guys, Tor here. Today I'm doing a video to show you, for one, my Halloween costume, which was John Carpenter's The Thing, and for two, sort of how I made the costume. So if you wanted to do a costume sort of similar, even if you wanted to do John Carpenter's The Thing. It's a thing, so it can look any way you want it to. This is just how mine came out. I loosely based it on this picture and this picture. Now, that's not to say I was trying to copy it, because I know I don't have enough resources at my disposal to try and recreate this masterpiece that was so amazing, and it's still amazing, better than CGI. So here we go. I'll explain sort of what I did and how I made my costume. Alright, so for Halloween I'm gonna be the Thing, and today I went and bought what I think is all the stuff that I need to make the costume. First, you need a base, so just a plain black long sleeve shirt, just a plain black skirt to build from. Great stuff.
Oh yeah.
Great for building gross, disgusting, puffy, foamy, fleshy protrusions.
It's expanding foam for those that don't know what great stuff is.
Spray paint. More spray paint. And I wanted to buy some stuffing, but a bag of stuffing cost like 50 bucks. So instead I went to Walmart and I bought a couple of pillows that were $3 each, which are essentially bags of stuffing. End of the roll lace, and this other fabric which kind of has a texture like crepey dry skin. Hot glue and some craft paints, black and white for lightening and darkening, red for blood, orange for orange. The Thing has lots of like spidery things coming off of it. So I bought this for $4 at Value Village, and I thought it would, I could like connect it to the back and have posable.
That looks so cool.
I thought I would use this. I want to quarter it, peel it back, and build a foam skull to put inside of it. I also got this, and I want to build it onto a baseball cap so that it'll be like melting down onto my face.
Looks like twins! Uh-oh.
I found a baby doll, its eyes open and close. So I'm thinking I might pull its head off and attach it to a glove. You have to go from... Yeah, so it'll be a combination of a spider, a baby, a dog.
The spider's moving.
And a couple of humans.
Ah!
That's the beauty of this costume, is you can make it out of anything and make it look like anything. So, oh, then you're gonna want some fake blood, fake skin, and face paint or makeup in the same colors as the spray paint. I affixed the big fake spider to the back of the shirt. I sewed it in place. Then I took the crepey skin-like fabric that I bought and I cut it into big triangles and basically sewed them into cones. Then I couldn't find stuffing at the fabric store for a decent price. It was like $50 a bag. So I went to Walmart and I bought a couple of pillows for about $3 each, cut them open, and took the stuffing out and stuffed my tentacles, my pillows, my cone pillows with pillow stuffing. And then I sewed those shut. Then I decided where on the shirt and the skirt that I wanted those tentacles affixed, and I just sewed them on with my sewing machine, and that stuff all probably took about half an hour, really. It did not take long. Then things get a little bit tricky. I attached the base for the dog head meat flower thing. Well, I started with a base, which was just like a white pillow that I made, And then once Adam had the costume on, I took a werewolf mask from Walmart. I split it open at the mouth along here, and I placed it where I wanted it on the shoulder region of the costume. I hand sewed it in place. And then I put on the suit. Now it's important, if you're using expanding foam on clothing, you need to wear it while you put the expanding foam on. It'll form fit onto whoever's wearing it. So you need to wear the costume so that the expanding foam form fits to your body, so the costume will fit your body. So I put on the costume and got Adam to, we started by putting expanding foam over the back where the spider is, and then we found a piece of fake spine and stuck it into the expanding foam there and covered it a bit more. It's pretty good.
Okay, that'll give you an idea of what it looks like. I can even show the whole thing. Terrifying. And then turn around.
Hi!
And then this is your dog's skull.
Yeah, this is a...
It's gotten a lot bigger than when we first foamed it, eh?
Yeah, but I'm going to carve it down so that it's the skull, and then I'm going to let the dog's face flap back over it.
And let's see your hand.
Oh. I got a bone to pick with you.
Pretty good.
So after doing that for a while, standing still while he put expanding foam on me and just waiting for everything to set on my body, you know, I put a piece of bone in the arm, and I put a doll's head on the hand, an old baby doll's head that the eyes open and close on, because I thought that would be really creepy. And what else did I stick in there? I had a doll's hand right here, and yeah. So I let that all harden on me, and then I took the costume off and set it aside. Then I worked on the headpiece. So I took a baseball cap and I affixed the mask that I bought to it. I stuffed it a little bit with more of the pillow stuffing, and once that was all affixed, I made some braids out of the lace that I bought, hot glued them onto the top of the mask and let that dry. Then I put some expanding foam over the braids to make sure they wouldn't fall out, and just to make the head look even more disgusting. And then I put a baby doll's hand in the head foam as well, so a little hand sticking out of the top of the head. Then I cut the skirt into little strips, and to get a uniform texture of the costume, because the whole top was basically covered in expanding foam, I had to take expanding foam and basically a spatula, and I would spray expanding foam onto the other fabric, like the tentacle sections and the skirt, and then I would use a spatula to spread it out so it was thin enough that it would still bend and flex on the fabric, but thick enough that I still had that uniform texture from the top onto the tentacles onto the skirt, so that when I painted everything, the color would go on cohesively, because otherwise, if you don't have the expanding foam covering the fabric's going to absorb your paint and you're not going to get a uniform color finish. Now mine's not perfect. If I had another can of expanding foam at that time, I probably would have gone over and really given everything a good covering, all the black parts and everything, but I didn't have enough and I was on a 3-day timeline, so it is what it is. I think it looks pretty awesome. So once everything was expanding foamed into place and I had my spider legs and my hat and my hair and my tentacles and my little hands and my baby head, my bones sticking out and my spine sticking out, and everything was looking nice and nasty, I went to work with my spray paint. So I used 3 different colors of spray paint. It was a little browner than I would have liked, but unfortunately my hardware store didn't have like a skin colored spray paint, so I went with a really bloody version of the thing. I basically just coated everything. I taped off any areas that I didn't want to get spray paint color on. So the baby hand and the head and the bones and the spine, I made sure to completely cover those in painter's tape so that I wouldn't get the color on them, because they were already skin colored or bone colored, so I didn't want to have to repaint them again. Once all that spray paint dried, I took off all the painter's tape and I actually went in with black, purple, and red acrylic paint and a paintbrush, and any areas that I thought just needed a little bit of texture or filling in or blood.
What you got there, eh?
My hand.
Oh, ever creepy. Should I zoom in on it?
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
I added a lot of gore, went into any place where the spray paint missed and added maybe some black for really deep crevices. Just tried to make it look really gross, basically. After all that dried, I took my hot glue gun and I started dripping hot glue off of all the spider legs to make it look like it was dripping like mucus and nasty stuff. I had to go in and carve down the foam to roughly make a dog skull shape and then go over it with paintbrush and just sort of detail it how you want. I used witch's fingernails, basically from the dollar store, and glued them on as the teeth. And I had like bouncy ball eyes. I used a blue one and a red one just to make them different, and painted that all, and then used hot glue to add drips and goop and grossness to it. My dad made me some octopus sucker things. He basically printed off a picture of an octopus's suckers, and then over top he brushed on a layer of silicone. So then I didn't have these on there for the party or anything, but I should have them on for my photo shoot. Basically what I did with them was I just cut them out and hot glued them wherever I thought they would look good on the tentacles of the costume. And really, I think that's about it. Buy your supplies, attach your peripherals, coat in expanding foam, throw on some spray paint, add some detailing, and that's my costume. So it took a lot of work, definitely a lot of hours of just painting and standing wearing foam and being a little uncomfortable. And I did wear the suit to a zombie walk.
I think. Oh no, did it again. Do it again. All right.
And everybody was pretty impressed with it. I've worked on it a little since then. Hopefully it looks a little better now. Everybody at my Halloween party was pretty blown away by it. It was definitely the most involved costume in the house. I had a lot of fun making it. It was super awesome, probably the most involved costume I've ever made. Even though it didn't involve a lot of sewing, it was definitely a lot of creativity and effort that went into it. So I really hope that you guys like it, and I hope that it inspires you to sort of go above and beyond and try and make a really cool costume this year, next year, for whenever. If you just want to have a thing costume around, maybe to scare the neighborhood children, that's cool in my books. I will probably bust it out a couple times this year for random things. I'm gonna cap off this video by just putting in some photos and video from my Halloween party. So I really hope you enjoyed my video. I hope it was informative. I know I didn't really film the steps while I was doing them, but I had expanding foam on my hands, I had paint going on, I didn't feel like I could be touching my camera while I was doing it. So hopefully this is a good enough explanation of how everything got done. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them below. I'll get back to you. If you do any kind of project related to this, or if you were inspired by this, definitely let me know. Send me pictures, send me a link to your video about it, because I would absolutely love to see that. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to see other things that I did for Halloween this year, check out my channel, Tours Times. And yeah, thanks again for watching. I'll see you all later. Bye.